In a world where power belonged to the privileged, one forgotten boy dared to believe he could build an empire from nothing. No wealth, no allies, no advantage. Just pure vision, unbreakable courage, and a fire in his spirit that refused to die. This is the extraordinary journey of a young outcast who rose from hunger and hardship to become one of the most unstoppable forces in history. If you've ever felt overlooked, underestimated, or pushed aside, this story will remind you that greatness is not given, it's created, in the vast and forgiving expanse of the ancient steppes, where icy winds carved lines across the earth and survival depended on strength, will, and loyalty. A young boy was born into a world that offered him nothing but hardship. His name was Temujin, a child with no wealth, no powerful lineage behind him, and no certainty of tomorrow. Yet buried within his heart burned a vision far greater than the simple life expected of him. While others saw the endless grasslands as wilderness, he saw them as possibility. While others accepted the chaos of rival clans, he sensed the potential of unity. And while the world dismissed him as a nobody, he quietly nurtured a belief that one day, he would build an empire where none existed before. Temujin's story did not begin with privilege. It began with loss, swift, brutal, and cold. When he was still a boy, his father was poisoned by rivals. His tribe abandoned his family, leaving them to starve in the harsh wilderness. Hunger bit deeper than the winter wind. His siblings scavenged for roots and frozen berries, and his mother struggled to keep them alive. Many would have surrendered, believing that fate itself had turned against them. But Temujin did not break. Hardship became his teacher. Betrayal shaped his understanding of loyalty. And adversity sharpened his resolve. Even as a child, he sensed something extraordinary inside himself, a voice whispering that he was meant for more than suffering. When others saw him as powerless, he trained his mind to see opportunities where there appeared to be none. With no weapons, he learned strategy. With no allies, he learned persuasion. With no resources, he learned resourcefulness. These skills, born from survival, would one day shape the destiny of nations. Yet no great vision survives without challenge. When he grew older, Temujin was captured by enemies and enslaved. Shackled and watched day and night, he endured humiliation and pain. But chains could not bind his spirit. He studied his captors' movements, listened to their conversations, and waited patiently for the moment when his chance would come. One night, when the guard relaxed his vigilance, Temujin managed to escape into the darkness, risking death for the chance at freedom. That moment, his refusal to accept imprisonment became the spark of everything he would later build. It showed him that even the strongest walls could be broken if the mind refused to surrender. When he returned to the world, he did so with a deeper understanding. He knew that no empire could be built alone. So, he set out on a mission not just to gather followers, but to inspire them. Temujin spoke to people not of conquest, but of a world where loyalty was rewarded, where the weak were protected, where merit mattered more than wealth or bloodline. In a society ruled by fear, he dared to imagine fairness. In a land where clans constantly betrayed each other, he dared to envision unity. Slowly, people began to see what he saw. Men who had been outcasts, families left without protection, warriors tired of corrupt leaders, all found hope in his vision. They joined him not because he offered comfort, but because he offered purpose. And purpose is stronger than fear. His growing band was poor, but their spirits were rich. They lacked equipment, but they possessed fierce loyalty. They were mocked by powerful tribes, but they moved with a strategy and discipline none had ever seen. Temujin turned them from scattered individuals into a force guided by one belief, that together they could build something the world had never imagined. He developed new methods of leadership rewarded by merit, collective responsibility, and absolute trust. On the battlefield, he used speed, adaptability, and intelligence to defeat armies many times larger than his own. He observed, learned, adapted, and innovated. He was not merely a warrior, he was a visionary who understood that true power comes not from strength, but from the ability to inspire others to see what you see. As his influence expanded, so did the resistance against him. Powerful tribes joined forces to destroy him. They underestimated him, believing he was still the poor, abandoned boy with nothing. But they failed to realize that a person who has risen from nothing is often the most dangerous because they fear nothing, depend on nothing, and expect nothing to be handed to them. When you start with nothing, everything you gain is built on grit, and every victory is carved out with your bare hands. Battle after battle, Temujin proved his resilience. Each victory brought more followers, each challenge sharpened his vision. Soon the man who once scavenged for food stood at the head of an unstoppable force. Their unity was unmatched, their purpose was unshakable, and their belief in him was absolute. Temujin transformed chaos into cohesion, fear into courage, and rivals into allies. When he finally united the tribes of the steppe, a feat once believed impossible, his people bestowed upon him a new name, Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. But the title did not define him. His journey did. He had risen from abandonment, imprisonment, and hopelessness to build one of the greatest empires in human history. And he did it not through inherited power, but through vision, determination, and an unbreakable belief in himself. But the true lesson of his life is not about conquering lands. It is about conquering limitations. Genghis Khan understood that a person's origins do not determine their destiny. Your beginning may be filled with struggle, but your ending can be filled with triumph if you refuse to let circumstances control your future. He proved that you can build a new empire even from nothing if you have the courage to dream big, the discipline to work relentlessly, and the heart to inspire others. So, as you listen to this story, ask yourself, what empire do you want to build? What vision burns inside you? What excuses have you been holding on to? Because greatness does not come from comfort, it comes from battles won in the mind long before they are won in the world. You may not be born with wealth, privilege, or opportunity, but neither was he. What you do have is the power to begin, to rise, to lead, to create, to become. Your life is your step. Your dreams are your unclaimed territories. And your determination is your greatest weapon. Like Temujin, you can turn every setback into strength, every failure into strategy, and every hardship into fuel for your future empire. Remember this, empires are not built by those who wait. They are built by those who act, those who persist when others quit, who believe when others doubt, and who dare when others fear. If a boy with nothing could rise to reshape history, what could you become if you chose today to believe in your own vision? Thank you for watching this inspiring story. If this message touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more powerful motivational stories that will change your life. Your support helps the channel grow and reach more people around the world.